Hello, my name is Chuckey Robinson, the King of Keys and the Lord of Chords.
What?
I'm currently the Minister of Music at Peace Missionary Baptist Church in Durham, North Carolina, 2608 Apex Highway, where the pastor is Reverend Dr. Gregory Sears. Born and raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I currently reside in Durham, North Carolina. Some of you may be more familiar with Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm right next door. Started playing drums, of course, like most organists or children in the church. Started playing drums and piano around, drums, you can say you've been doing that since birth because you're always beating on something. But functionally, I was playing drums and piano probably around the ages of 3 and 4, 4 and 5. Like that. Grew up Church of God in Christ. And that's pretty much it as far as my background, as far as the beginning. Growing up, there was we had an organist at the church named Sam Williams. And listening to him, it was like, man, I want to get great. I want to be just like him. And we had another musician named Patrick McMillan. My pastor had 2 churches, and I would travel, sometimes to hear the different musicians. And I used to ask my dad, because my dad doesn't play, but my dad is very musical. He can play drums and he can sing. He said he feels like it skips generations because his uncle played and my mother's uncle played. He took lessons, my mom took lessons, and it stayed with none of them. But it came on me. Hey, yeah, my. But I used to listen to him. I used to ask my dad, man, how did he get so good? He said, man, he just used to play all the time. He would take a keyboard and sit on the front porch with batteries in the keyboard and just play. So I tried to take on that model. So he was those were definitely influences for me. Another guy, Michael Ross, because that's Rayford, North Carolina. I lived in Fayetteville, that's right next door. Michael Ross and Preston Ross, Rocky Rayford, those are a lot of my local influences. Of course, national influences, it's the records. Los Angeles band, Mike Burrell, Jason White, Kevin Bond, Twinkie Clark, good God Almighty. If it weren't for Twinkie Clark, I don't know what I'd sound like. Of course, the New York Butch Haywood and James Hall. I mean, anything that was out that we were listening to. And that's just the gospel side. There's a whole other side of influences when it comes to jazz, classical, R&B, rock, whatever you want to call it. lot of times as musicians or creatives, we mess up because we look at ourselves as only that, musicians and creatives. Bottom line, you're human. You know, when it's all said and done, you want somebody to say, oh, he was a great player, or do you want them to say he was a great person? And so when I look at life like that, playing is great, but that's just a vehicle. Hopefully for me to sit before great men, I believe the Bible says that. And so when that comes into play, when you sit before great men, you have to have more to talk about than a flat 7 or a sharp 11, especially if they don't do music. So how important is my relationship with God is vitally important, because I know plenty of people that turn to drugs, girls, women, alcohol, to get their high to be able to deal with the situations and the adversities in life. For me, I use God. You know, had an interesting conversation with a friend a few days ago. It's like, you know, the reason that I hear that some people, you know, smoke and do the things that they do is because they can't deal with the stress. And I said, but the thing is, when they come down off of that, the stress is still there with no answer. But I found the answer, and it's in Jesus. And so I can honestly say that that is vital to life, having a relationship with God, because spending time with Him, I guess you could call it like a high. Somebody ain't gonna like that I said that, but not only that, you get answers, you get assurance, you get confidence. He communicates with you in a way that you can't explain. So the fact that I'm trying to articulate it, I'm already losing because God is infinite. But it's vitally important. How can somebody sit in a room with no one around and create? That's God. You know, all the greats, Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum, Miles Davis, you know, guys that influence music at such a level. That has to be God. We are gifted at pulling everything from nothing. Only one person I know did that. His name was God. He created everything from nothing. And so we're made in His image and in His likeness. So you can't do it without God. And you've heard it. You heard people sit down, they play without God. They think they can, you really can't. You can't separate yourself from Him. But you can hear people where their influence or their motive is not God and God-like, versus someone where their influence and motive is God-like. So it's all about your intentions. I know for me, I made a covenant with God a long time ago. I said, God, if you gave me this gift, every time I sit down, you need to meet me here. And if you don't meet me here, then there's no need of me playing. And a lot of times that's what people feel. Oh man, you're great. I understand that, but what you're feeling is the God in me. God, when I sit down, I want everybody in this room to understand who you are in my life. So for me, it's vital. Should musicians be compensated? Absolutely. But there's some gray areas. For me, growing up in the church I grew up, I didn't get paid. I didn't get paid probably until the 11th grade. And I was one of those kids, you know, I'm 9 years old playing better than grown men with gray hair. And I used to have friends in middle school, how much do you get paid? None of your business. You know, they're like, I get paid $75 a week. And I'm like, so I get paid? I don't get paid. I didn't start getting paid till 11th grade, it was $50. So the thing we have to understand is, like, we in this society now where you got YouTube and stuff, and you can learn so much material, you can play so skillfully and never get any experience outside of your room, and never get the opportunity to pay your dues. So there should be a season where you are not getting paid. There should be times where you do things for the love of the music, for the love of the people, for the love of God, for the love of Christ. I still go play free all the time. I play for free all the time now. And I did growing up too. However, I make sure I get my money. But you should definitely get compensated. But here's the area, the problem we have. Churches, stop saying you want a full-time musician and you want them there all the time and you're only paying them $250. If you cannot pay them a full-time salary, you don't want a full-time musician, and stop requiring them to do full-time services. Musicians, stop trying to get the church to pay all of your bills. If the church doesn't have it or don't want to give it to you, stop expecting it. Come here on Sunday mornings, do your weekly night service, and if you're real smart, put your rehearsal after the weekly night service and go get a job. Do what you got to do. It is what it is. So that's really the issue. We should get compensated, but we have to stop taking advantage of each other. Either you have it or you don't. Either they want to give it or you're not going to give it. But what are you going to do about it? Well, I'll say this. A lot of times people want to talk about, man, I was sharing yesterday, man. I was sharing like 7 hours straight. That's cool. What'd you do the next day? What'd you do the day after that? What'd you do the day after that? The problem is it's not about shedding for long periods of time. It's about being consistent. I'd rather have someone that sheds 2 hours consistently focused every day than someone that sheds 5 hours today on Monday, an hour and a half on Wednesday, and then 6 hours on Saturday. You know, it's not going to be the same type of results. What do you practice? Again, scales, practice reading music, just do 10, 15 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm preaching to the choir because I need to practice it too. Scales, if you sound good while you're practicing, you're not practicing. You should sound bad. You should sound terrible because you need to be working on things that you cannot play. But ultimately, what do you like? Learn what you like. Start there. And if you hear something that you like, if you can hear it, you can play it. If you can sing it, you can play it. If you want to learn some of them crazy solos, listen to it until you can sing it. And when you can sing it, you'll be able to play it. So that's what I would say. Learn what you like. Listen to music. Listen to all kinds of music. Rock, funk, R&B, bluegrass, jazz, everything. Classical, everything. The advice that I would give musicians, of course, I hate to say these answers because everybody says practice. Duh. Practice your scales, practice your modes, practice your fingering. There is proper fingering and technique when it comes to playing your instrument, whatever it is. Trumpet, guitar, bass, whatever it is, proper fingering. Practice, study your craft, study the fundamentals. Don't be afraid of reading music. Don't be afraid of learning theory because the secret is once you learn it, you don't have to learn it again. You just have to exercise it. So, but I would say, especially to the church musicians in the church community, dream big. You are bigger than church. I know so many musicians and their goal is to, man, I can't wait till I get good and I land a gig playing at a good church and I can live off the church. Then what? So dream big. Dream big. If you can think it, you can do it. I have a thing that I use, Surge Flow. Surge is my initials, Flow is my acronym. Freedom, love, opportunity, and wisdom. On the instrument, you cannot flow if you don't have freedom. If you can't play in every key, you can't flow. If you bound by fingering, you're not gonna flow. If you don't have no love in your heart, you're not gonna flow because the whole time you playing, you hating on the other person and what they playing. You can't flow with hatred in your heart. Opportunity, you have to wait for the opportunity. It might not be your season right now, but when you get the opportunity, if you have freedom and love, you can flow. And also the last part is wisdom. Choose wisdom over, let me show you this chop, let me show you this lick. So that's what I would say, flow. If you can't flow, you got to go. Devon Mickey and When Tidewater Talks. Listen, I've been watching these videos for a minute. I said, man, I wish I lived in Virginia so he could put me on. Am I good enough, Lord? See, this is why you need God, because you start psyching yourself and getting depressed and insecure. God, am I good enough to be on and I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, man, because the videos and the content you're doing is wonderful. And if you need any help, don't hesitate to call me. I'll do what I can to help you. Thank you so much. I love the opportunity, and I hope I did some justice. God bless you.